My students are having trouble with the writing in my class. I'm really worried about them. I know I'm not an English professor, but they're going to have to be able to write to compete in the job market.
You know, this worries me too. As a professional educator, I wish there was something we could do about it. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about teaching writing. I don't know a comma splice from a hole in the ground.
What's a comma splice?
Excuse me. I think I can help. Come on, follow me.
Okay, everybody, for the last 5 minutes of class, I would like you to pull out a piece of paper and we're going to brainstorm a marketing strategy that pertains to the business model that we've just been talking about today in class, all right? Let's get started.
It's always a good idea to give your students a chance to reflect on what they've learned. It gives them practice writing, and it gives you a better idea of what they've learned and what they're interested in. Additionally, this reflection allows students to make connections between ideas that they wouldn't have otherwise made on their own.
But how does this improve their writing?
The more writing they do, the better thinkers and writers they become. Many of our students didn't get the opportunity to do much writing in high school. Every little bit counts. The writing they do helps cement their knowledge of content, which in turn makes them better writers.
This seems all well and good, but I just don't want to have to correct all that stuff.
You can look over their work with as much or as little detail as you'd like, but the main point is that students just need practice writing. For an assignment like this, you may need to scan their writing to make sure that they're absorbing the content. For other low-stakes assignments, you may not even have to look at their writing at all. Let's go to another classroom and see what I mean.
Okay.
In this biology class, the students are conducting a peer review session. Here, the professor has provided them with the written criteria for a lab report. The students check each other's work against the criteria and critique each other. In the process, the students become familiar with the criteria for lab reports and also help their fellow students in the process write better. They inevitably learn about their own writing as well.
How can students who have trouble writing help other students write better?
The criteria checklists help enormously, and having the students work in groups ensures that at least 1 or 2 skilled writers will be there to help the others, and the professor is circulating, helping to guide their discussions and answering particularly difficult questions.
Won't students just tell each other their writing is fine and leave it at that?
Actually, most students are harder on each other than you would expect. And since the criticisms are coming from the mouths of their peers, in a small group setting, they tend to listen in a much more interactive way.
This is neat.
Yep. You betcha. Come on. Professors, my fairy godmother used to say, all things in moderation. Do you like things in moderation?
Sure, we all do.
Come on. This class is being given a middle stakes writing assignment. It's a take-home assignment that will be graded, but the focus here is on helping students develop fluency in the writing style of this particular field.
Okay, class, what I've just handed out is your 3rd take-home assignment of the semester. This is a data set that I'd like you to analyze using the statistical models we've just been talking about today in class. Make sure and include lots of charts and graphs. Make it very visually appealing, coherent. Use APA-style guidelines. I'm going to collect this Monday morning, beginning of class.
Now you see, that's what I was talking about. Come Monday, this professor is going to have 20 essays to grade.
Well, you're right there, but consider this. these papers will probably only be about 1 to 2 pages in length, which means that it will take a minute or two to examine each of them for stylistic and reasoning errors. But assignments like this allow students to practice proper stylistic convention and require them to pull concepts together in a much more demanding way. Most importantly, it allows them to get feedback from you as to where their work needs the most help. By giving them 2 or 3 of these smaller assignments early on in the semester, major problems can be caught and corrected early. And that will make grading their papers later on in the semester a much more pleasant and less time-consuming experience.
So by sacrificing a few hours early in the semester, you think we can save a few hours later on in the semester?
And not only will your job be easier, but the students' work will improve immeasurably as well.
Wow! I've got to try some of these ideas.
Well, this is our office. Feel free to drop by anytime.
Oh, we will.
By the way, a comma splice involves using a comma to separate 2 independent clauses, or clauses that could stand alone on their own as sentences. You can add a conjunction, a semicolon, or simply separate the 2 independent clauses into 2 complete sentences.
Gosh, thanks.
Hey, don't mention it. That's what we're here for.
Stop.